Hey there, welcome to day 6 of our Let's Grow annual challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and today we are going to talk about core values with respect to growth, growing, again, tying back to what growing means to you, what our beliefs are about growth and growing for us personally as well as for other people. And I like to use a 9-part life framework that I learned from originally a 7-part life framework from Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn back in the 80s. I know, decades ago, but it served me really, really well. And following the pandemic in 2021, I got coaching in a different area of core skills like communication and confidence and things like that, and how we present things. And I added 2 categories to my life framework, and I've used them ever since. I've really used them pretty successfully over the last couple of years, because I find if I improve any one of these areas of my life, they're all interconnected. So it improves usually all of those areas of my life. And I get a lot more bang for my effort by working on more than one simultaneously and really working on the core skills and the foundational things in these areas and aspects of my life. So the 9-part life framework that I currently use is physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. And those are the 9 areas that we'll talk about throughout the course of this year, especially with respect to growth. We did it last year with respect to goals. The year before that, we did it to become the best possible version of ourselves, a continually improving version of ourselves. And so this year, we're going to do it with respect to growth. Now, growth and continuous improvement and goals are all kind of tied together, right? So chances are we're going to use tools that have worked in the past. We're going to continue to move forward and explore new tools as well. So I like to break down and think about my core values in each of these categories. So if you look at my journal or what I keep for documenting my journey through this year's challenge, I've got all of the different 9 categories listed. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick, after I pick at least one or a couple of core values for each of those areas, I'm going to say, okay, with respect to growth in particular, what stands out for me as core values? Now, one of my personal core values is lifelong learning, and I guess 2, continuous improvement. Again, those to me are linked together and intertwined. So continuous improvement, continuous learning, lifelong learning, growth, they're all sort of the same thing in my mind in terms of, and there's slightly different tweaks in my definition, but they are all moving me and progressing me forward in different areas and aspects of my life. So I guarantee those will show up for sure, right? As my top 3 core values: lifelong learning and continuous improvement, and growth and progress, and making the world a better place, things like that. What are yours? Now, if you need help with this, we can use a simple 5-step process. We covered a process last year in the Guide 17 of the Get Up and Go Challenge private Facebook group. You can join that. It's free. Just answer the security questions. There is a ton of information from 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. All of the challenges that I've done are in there, the recordings, as well as for last year, Guide 17 has a write-up, I admit, by ChatGPT. I asked a question for the topic of the day, and whatever it spit out, I copied and pasted there as supplemental information for the challenge. Doing the same thing this year, and it's in the Let's Grow annual challenge private Facebook group page. The videos are in Guide 1 because the Get Up and Go Challenge guide we're up to 17 guides, and had thousands of videos in it, and it takes a long time to find things in there for Facebook. So to make it easier, I started a new group for this year's challenge. So Guide 1 is the videos. Guide 2 is a supplemental write-up. And I'm doing something new this year. I'm writing a story or creating a story of a person or sharing someone's story as part of each day of this year's challenge. So by the end of the year, we'll have 365 different people's stories of growth and development and what it's meant to them, etc. They're just a few paragraphs. So one of the processes we talked about was a 5-step process. Number 1, self-reflection. You have to think about what's important to you and understand yourself. Second, assess your values. Do an assessment and a little audit of what things are most important to you. 3, prioritize those things. 4, look for alignment in the different areas and aspects of your life. A lot of times, the same thing will come up in 3, 4, 5, even 6 or 7 of the categories when I'm listing out my core values. So if a core value comes up 7 times, it's obviously a higher priority and more important to me. And then finally, adaptability. We need to be flexible and adaptable in everything we do in order to grow, but we also want to be adaptable in and tweaking and changing. If I say I'm going to pick lifelong learning or continuous improvement of one of my top 3, I get to define and decide which one's more important to me and which one I'm going to use going forward. It's a personal tool and a personal project. All right. So any questions, the guides, or ask? All you have to do is ask. You can box me at pajamagrandma@gmail.com. It's an online walkie-talkie app or a phone app. I think it's online, but I've only ever used it on my phone. But it's a phone walkie-talkie app. Or you can direct message me, right? Or you can ask the question in the group or ask a question under the video. Just make sure that you get your questions answered because that's what I'm here for. All right. Have an awesome day. And I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.